Welcome back to Essence TV. We're talking about the issue of poverty and working collaboratively with whole communities to not just interrupt the poverty cycle, but to decisively break it. We're talking with Tony Meloto, the founder of GK. Tony, tell us about the GK 777 project.
Well, we launched the GK 777 project in 2003, end of 2003, to just project, our dream that we are going to reduce homelessness, landlessness, and hunger significantly. And 777 stands for 700,000 homes in 7,000 communities in 7 years. And amazingly, after 5 years, we were able to really inspire the local governments to do land banking, landowners to donate land, that we now have enough land for the 7,000 communities.
Wow.
And even now, government and other institutions are working with us, adopting our model to build also their own communities for the poor. So we realized it was not just us doing everything ourselves,
right,
but influencing legislation, inspiring those with resources to do it. And we have been bold enough now, because of this, to project that we can really address now on a bigger scale. So we saw this as a 21-year development timeline, one generation to bring a whole nation out of poverty by addressing landlessness, homelessness, and hunger. So in Harvard on June 12, we will be now presenting our plan, which we call GK 2024, to bring the Philippines out of third world poverty and corruption by 2024. That will impact directly on the lives of 5 million families and push, inspire, the rest of society to really raise their standards of life.
That's absolutely astounding. So by 2024, 5 million people will have...
Families, that's 25 million people.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
The poverty cycle will have been broken for them,
yes,
for making a new history for their family. Just
yes,
astounding.
It's simply because we get government, business, civil society to work together.
Right.
Because government can legislate, for land to be provided. The government can also legislate for homes and schools to be built, and for us to leverage this also with resources coming from over 12 million Filipinos who are successful abroad. And so when we all come together, because we restore faith in one another, and because in a situation where there is a breakdown of trust, then nothing is ever built, because the poor do not trust the rich, or the rich do not trust also the government, and so on. And what Gawad Kalinga has done is to create, communities that are visible, lives that are changed, things that you can touch and see and touch, hope that you can build on the ground, and for everyone to own it, And so development for us is to just get everyone to work together, and not just to do it in the Philippines on a massive scale, but show other developing countries that it can be done, because that's the reason why we're launching this in Harvard, because we want this to be a model for other developing countries. There is no absence or lack of generosity in this world. There's just a lack of trust, or just the people just are not aware that it can be done.
Now, you mentioned that one of the issues that you address through the model of GK is the issue of corruption, and you would be well aware, as we are, that there have been many stories over the years of corruption in developing countries. You now get quite a lot of support from the Philippines government. In fact, they're directing a lot of their disaster relief funding through GK. If you're getting this sort of support in the Philippines, do you get government level support in other countries as well?
Yes, of course. Well, of course, in the Philippines, because it's good politics to work now with credible organizations like Gawad Kalinga. And so the government also wants the public to know that they're doing their part. So in the disaster areas, we work with government. We work also with other organizations that are helping the poor, because, no one organization can do it. But we're getting support from the government of Canada, and this recently, AusAid is also starting to work with us in the typhoon that we had 2 years ago, where a whole town was was covered by a mudslide that killed over 1,000 people, the government of Ontario sent us resources directly to us to build a new community for them that was safe from disaster, to build farms and to build livelihood for them. The government of Manitoba did likewise, because one thing is that they are now receiving a lot of our professionals as citizens in their country. And so I think they're saying it's good investment for them to also help the country where they come from, because the future citizens will be coming from these countries. The same thing with Australia. There's a 250,000 of our people in Australia, our top professionals, who have become good citizens here. And that's the reason why I broached to your own legislators that it is wise for Australia to invest in development in countries that are very friendly to them.
So, Tony, we just have one more minute left, but I really want you to tell us, if you're getting this sort of government-level support, why does GK continue to promote and encourage individual support for your work?
Well, for our political leaders to have political will, they need also to see that the private sector is doing its part. So when Gawad Kalinga starts to build a community, government starts to build the road system, the water system, and so. But it's important for people to really become good citizens of their country. Like Australia, you are a great nation simply because people are proud to be Australians and they will not leave anyone behind. And so it's important for those living in developing countries like the Philippines that the most successful citizens should also invest in ending poverty so that there will be great abundance for all.
Well, Tony, it's been a delight to see you again and to hear of the work of GK and the exciting future of 2024 and beyond. Thank you so much for coming into Essence TV. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Kerry. It's our privilege and it's our joy to share this miracle, to the rest of the world.
Thank you. Well, as you can see, Tony Meloto, one of the most inspiring people I've ever met. If you want to find out more, you can go to their website, gawadkalinga.org. And if you've been inspired and enjoyed this edition of Essence TV, tell your friends and don't miss it next time. Essence TV, right here.